Hey, good morning. Pete, North Las Vegas, and we are north of Las Vegas. Got out here before the sun came up, waiting for a little bit more light. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. We've got a full moon today. And of course, right as the wind picks up is when we're going to start shooting. Okay, so we're out here to test this recent build of mine. It's an M forgery. So we'll talk about the rifle a little bit, and then we'll start shooting. See if this thing is going to shoot around corners or what it's going to do. Okay, so let's talk about the rifle. Brownells SOCOM profile barrel. This is a 16-inch, not the correct 14.5. I don't like pin and welded, so we have a standard A2 compensator on here. I have a side sling mount that I installed, and that's an actual Colt. I have a Midwest Industries quad rail, which looks a whole lot like an actual Raz. So if you're standing 5 feet away, you're probably not going to be able to tell the difference. Sons of Liberty Gunworks grip, ambidextrous Geisley, Wilson Combat bolt carrier. The upper is Aero Precision. Carry handle is DS Arms, and the buttstock assembly is BCM. This is Prudent American Technologies, which I believe bought out P&S. And I'm forgetting the cage code off the top of my head, but PAT does supply Colt with the waffle stock, so this is probably correct as far as Colt goes. Okay, so when I built this rifle, I just wanted to go with a standard stripped down M4A1. I wasn't trying to do a SOP mod, just something that like the different branches would initially get from the manufacturer before they put all the SOP mod stuff on it. So this is just your basic M4A1. I think I forgot to mention that's a Geisley SSP single stage, and like I said before, that's a Geisley ambidextrous. Some of the other stuff is Aero Precision, and I've been using the Aero Precision takedown and pivot pins because they're not dimpled, so they look more correct for an M4A1. Okay, well, I think we covered most of it. Like I said, I'm just kind of waiting for a little bit more daylight here. And Las Vegas, you probably already know, but it's kind of like that movie Chronicles of Riddick, where he ends up on this planet called Crematoria. And this planet, when the sun comes up, the sun is so intense, it's so powerful that it just cooks and vaporizes anything that's you know, man-made or people. If you're out when the sun comes up, you get vaporized. So Las Vegas is kind of like the planet Crematoria, and this is the first day we've had in a long time where it's, when you walk out the door, it's like mid-high 80s. So I got about maybe 2 hours before this place turns into planet Crematoria, but I gotta wait for a little bit more light. Okay, this is the junk that we'll be shooting today. Generally on a brand new rifle, I'm not overly concerned about accuracy to start out with. Usually a lot of barrels take a few rounds before they start to shine. But anyway, sometimes you get lucky and these things are attack drivers right out of the box. So anyway, stuff we'll be shooting. Like I said, not overly concerned with accuracy today. This is more of function testing, just to make sure that the rifle functions and everything appears to be correct. Okay, so one test round. We'll go take a look at the brass. If everything looks good, we'll get the sights roughed in. Okay, so the brass looks okay except for one area here. There's a little bit of a ring. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up, but that's a little bit concerning to me. That's like signs of case head separation. Let me fire a couple more rounds to this thing and see if that shows up on the next couple of rounds. Okay, so I took a look at these 2 rounds just to see if anything was going on before I shot that first one, and this stuff looks okay. You can kind of see tarnish around 1/2 on kind of both of these. So let me put 2 more rounds through the rifle and see what happens. The good news is the rifle shoots straight, and I'm at 10 yards right now just to make sure I'm on paper. And from point of aim to point of impact, we're roughly 2 inches down. So at 10 yards, roughly 1.9 inches is where it should hit with a point of impact on the center. So the rifle shoots straight, but let's get a couple more rounds going and see what's going on with this brass. Okay, so I'm not even shooting at the target. I'm just going to pop off a couple rounds and we'll go take another look at that brass. Brass is ejecting quite a bit forward. Let's say somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock. So it looks like we got plenty of gas. Let me go take a look at that brass. Okay, so this is the first round that left a mark, and you can kind of feel that. This is the second round. Very, very slight mark, and then this one doesn't have anything. So I think we're okay. So I'm going to get this target out to 25 meters and we'll get the sights dialed in. The rifle does seem to be a little bit overgassed. Like I said, it's a BCM buffer assembly with a standard carbine buffer, so I may have to put in a heavier a buffer, which I forgot to bring with me. I've got an H2 at home, but I failed to bring it with me. All right, well, let's get this target out. I'm satisfied that the rifle's safe enough. Okay, so I'm going to get these sights roughed in at the standard Army 25 meters. On carry handles, just about every elevation drum nowadays has a Z mark on it. If you have an older one that does not have that Z mark, you come up 2 clicks. Make sure you're using the small aperture. And then if you need any elevation adjustments after that, you do that on the front sight. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so if you were born with good eyesight, if you live long enough, you won't. I do the best I can. These are kind of low powered, like computer glasses. A little bit lower powered than your standard reading glasses. But it gets the front sight sharp enough, and then hopefully I can get on the... All right. Yeah, you can see that brass going almost straight forward. All right, let's go see where we hit. Okay, so there is no way I pulled a shot so bad that I'm off paper. So here's my shot here, and it looks like I put 2 in the same hole. And that hole's quite a bit bigger than this. That was my first shot at 10 yards. So need to come over a little bit, but not bad for my dorked up eyes. Okay, I went 2 clicks right. So you can see we just came off the big center mark. So we're still pretty well centered. So I think 2 clicks to the right, we should be more on the bullseye. Man, that brass is like shooting out almost like straight forward as much as it can. Okay, so I almost got two in the same hole again, and then this one here. So I think I'm going to come over one more click on the windage, and we're going to call it good. I think I'm going to stop shooting the rifle today. This thing has the appearance of being really overgassed, so I don't know what size port that Brownells used on that barrel, but man, that thing's cranking. So I may have to get a different spring and a heavier buffer, and that's about my only options to calm this thing down, because I'm using a fixed sight base. But the barrel shoots straight, everything functions, holds back on the last round. So functional wise, other than being overgassed or looking like it's overgassed, so we're gonna put this one away today, and I've got another rifle I got to test that I haven't fired yet also, and that'll be a separate video. And yeah, overall happy. Like I said, I just got to figure out how to tone it down. Okay, so this is a M16A2 retro type clone. These are both Harrington and Richardson upper and lower receivers. Geisley single stage trigger. I'm using a Wilson Combat bolt carrier group. This is a Criterion 20-inch manganese phosphate chrome line 1-in-8 twist wild chambering. On this rifle, I had Retro Arms Works install the front sight base, and as far as I could tell using my straightness gauge, he got this thing dialed in perfect. So we're going to do a couple of rounds and see what the brass looks like, and then we'll get this thing sighted in for 25 meters. We'll be using this junk ammo today. I'm not really overly concerned with trying to figure out how accurate the rifle is. Usually I wait till I have a few rounds down the barrel before I start worrying about that. So we're mainly doing just a function check and make sure everything cycles right and that I have a safe rifle. Okay, so I'm going to do the standard Army 25 meter. You come up one click on your drum. Make sure you're using the small aperture, and everything else gets taken care of either by windage or adjusting your front sight elevation. All right, I'm going to fire one round, just see what the brass looks like. And then after that, we'll see if we can get it roughed in at 25 meters. Okay, first round on the M16A2. Ah, what the hell? All right, this one, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it got tweaked pretty good. Let's load another one up, see what happens. I checked the brass. The brass itself looks okay. I don't see any signs of that. All right, let's see what she does. All right, that bolt is the bolt's not feeling too good. Well, let's fire another round. All right, we held back. That's encouraging. Okay, so before I did the video on this M16A2 retro that I built, I just got done testing this M4. And this rifle is pretty much behaving the same exact way as this one, using two different manufacturer barrels, Brownells and Criterion, same bolt carrier groups. I'm starting to wonder if I've got an ammunition problem. Like these things are just running unusually hot. So I have some different ammunition, and we'll try that. I got some PMC. See if anything behaves differently, because it's just too much of a coincidence that I have two brand new rifles, never fired before, and they're both doing the exact same thing. They're acting like they're really overgassed. And as we just saw, this one didn't feed correctly because of it. Okay, this has never happened before. That's 2 rounds in the same hole. With the M4, I did 2 rounds in the same hole up here when I first shot the rifle, and then 2 more down here. 3 times in a row, 2 rounds in the same hole. So this is from the M16A2 retro, so I just got to come up a little bit and a couple clicks on that front sight, and that thing's shooting straight. Okay, I'm using different ammunition. It looks like Winchester, but from a different lot. It's not the same ammunition I have been using, so see if this rifle behaves any different. As soon as I load around. All right, so I saw the first one kind of go forward, the second one kind of went that way, and that last round kind of went more out the side around 2:30, 3 o'clock, I think. I won't know until I review the video. Let's go down and see where we hit. Okay, it's our last 3, so I'd say we're zeroed in on that. So I'm going to call the 20-inch good. Like I said, it seems to be calming down on the ejection, so maybe after I get a few more rounds through it, I won't have to mess with it. But that M4, man, that thing, I'm going to try some of this different ammo in that real quick and just see if it calms down. Okay, we're back on the M4 different ammunition this time. I want to see if anything changes. I got a feeling it's still going to be overgassed. I think the 20-inch is coming around. I just need to get some more rounds down and it'll be fine. But that'll be for another day. It does shoot very accurate. But let's see what happens to the brass here using different ammunition. Okay, I'm seeing about, I'd say about 2 o'clock is what I saw. I don't know, this thing may be calming down a little bit too, but it was different ammunition. Well, it's consistently dumping them out in the same spot, so we'll give it that. Okay, that was the last 3 shots with the M4. So both rifles are very, very accurate as far as I can tell. It's just that M4 I need to do some tuning, and like I said, I think I'm going to try a heavier buffer. The sun's been up for about an hour now, and like I was saying earlier in this video, this place turns into the planet crematoria. So it's starting to warm up right now, so time to pack up and get out of here. We'll get that M4 back out here with a heavier buffer. Pete, North Las Vegas, over and out.